Hey everybody, Kale here. Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna dive right in today, all right? There's no specific anything, to be honest, other than I felt it was just gonna be 3 cards, and we do have a clarifier card. And the strongest intention was just honestly around just whatever the reading is for the collective. I didn't pose any specific questions today, all right? And so what we had coming through, first card is a 2 of Cups. Okay, we've got a 2 of Cups. 2s represent choices to be made. Okay, also, yes, okay, my hat has made its way into the video. The sun is in the trees, it's like wild, and trying to get the right lighting was challenging, so my hat is kind of acting as a cover. So there it is, here we are. Okay, so 2s, choices to be made, and Cups, we've got representing relational consciousness and the capacity to bond. Okay, so that's feelings, intuition, love, spiritual connection. All right, and so we've got choices to be made related to those, related to that area of things. And so what we've also got here represented is emotional recognition, okay, sacred exchange, meeting another in real resonance, and reciprocity. All right, and so to me, this card at this time is about making a choice. All right, making a choice, a decision to commit to this process, person, project, or experience. Whatever lands and resonates for you, it seems like there perhaps is a choice to be made around that right now. Okay. Jumping into our second card here to provide us with a little more information, a little more direction. We actually get the Lovers upright. Okay, we've got the Lovers upright. Okay, and this card is representing the alignment of will and heart. Okay, the alignment of will and heart. So that also represents relationship, choice, which, okay, great, because here we go with choices. Interesting. All right, integrity. The moment when love and values must come into conscious agreement. Interesting here too, because again, we've got relational consciousness and the ability and the capacity to bond. And here we are with this one, the moment when love and values must come into conscious agreement. Okay, this relational consciousness. Also representing soulmate-like resonance. And to me, that means deep mirroring, something kind of fated, meant to be, you know, like a divine recognition, a divine will, if you will. And choosing in a way that does not divide you from yourself. Okay, choosing in a way that does not divide you from yourself. Okay, and this also represents life force energy and devotional energy. Okay, and Sasha Graham, the author of the deck, Tarot of the Witch's Garden, Sasha Graham, Nataša, Ilínčíć. Okay, the author of the deck says that this card represents the most potent force in the universe. All right, and so I'm getting the feeling personally that this is about like saying yes, like making the choice, making the commitment to whatever this is, whatever that person, project, experience, you know, whatever it is for you at this time in your life. It feels like the energy around that is a yes, and I think the rest of the spread that came forth suggests that as well. Of course, always take your own intuition and whatever resonates for you, right? This is not meant to tell you what to do, simply meant to provide some helpful connection and orientation, clarification for you, okay? All right, so on the back of that here, to provide us with a little bit more, we've got 9 of Wands reversed. Okay, we've got 9 of Wands reversed. Okay, this is what it looks like in upright. 9 of Wands, she's carrying one of them. Okay, yeah, so 9s are completion. Okay, 9s are completion, and Wands represent the creative impulse and the desire to act. Okay, so we've got in this card completion, creative impulse, desire to act, also representing ambition, vitality, direction, and initiative. I mean, my goodness, you know, we've got that with choices, right? Relational consciousness and choices here. Boom, the sacred energy. All right, so on the back of that, we're looking at completion, creative impulse, desire to act. Reversed, now that is suggesting overwhelming obstacles, depletion, oppression, burnout, hypervigilance, feeling as if the odds are stacked against oneself, and unable to navigate through the current situation. All right, and so I'm getting a sense that either some of you may be in the space of experiencing that right now, experiencing all those challenging feelings and experiences, all right, or perhaps, and perhaps if you're feeling that, it is maybe making you hesitant or cautious around making this choice or making this commitment. It's like, whoa, like I'm in this, how can I go and do that, right? Or that there's like a fear of this happening, right? There's a fear of, if I do that, if I make that commitment, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to provide obstacles for me. It's going to lead me to depletion and burnout, or hypervigilance perhaps, or it seems too hard to get through, right? Like the obstacles, it's too hard to make happen, right? Like there's no way it's going to come about or something, right? So I'm getting like one of the, perhaps you're in one of those two things, or maybe some kind of combination of both related to what it is these cards were here representing around commitment and choice, okay? And so Sasha suggests to write the reversal to ask the question, how can I change course? And what's interesting, what comes up for me there around this question of how can I change course is, for some of you might be like crying out like, like how can I change this? How can I change course? Kind of like feeling that like, okay, clearly with all this stuff that's come up, like this is not the way, so what can I do to change, right? Which may in fact there may not be anything to change, right? It may just be like that feeling of desperation, you know, or it's actually, there is something practical that you can do to change course, okay? Whether that's mental, physical, or mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, making whatever that change is, okay? So like, let's take a deeper look. Actually, before we do that, something that kind of came into my awareness was this idea around the answer to how can I change course possibly residing within the poem that Sasha wrote for this particular card, okay? And that poem is, bravery radiates through the skin, fiery triumph courts the wind. The easiest way to lift your curse is always do the hard thing first. Love that, because again, that poem is whether it's in upright or reverse, and I love that the poem is kind of hidden, the answer is possibly hidden within the poem for the question of how to write this reversal, okay? So related to that, you know, what comes to mind for you? What's that feeling or impression you get around the hardest thing first? Because I know in my experience sometimes, you know, I've been given like a next step, and perhaps this is true for you as well. I've been given a next step and I either haven't acted on that yet, I haven't taken that, or I've kind of brushed by it or glossed over it, or kind of like, well, all right, I'll do that, but like I don't make it like that priority to do it. And then I find myself eventually in just like a stagnant time, or it feels like flow has kind of ceased and the momentum has stopped, and it's like, what's going on? And I get frustrated and really upset. And then I remember like, oh yeah, there's also this other thing over here that I knew was part of the thing to do. And quite often, most of the time, if not all of the time, tackling that and taking action on whatever that thing is helps to bring about more flow and momentum, and the provision of the next step or the next guidance, right? Because we can receive guidance and then be like and then feel like we don't know what else to do, but we actually haven't followed like all of the guidance, and so we're not going to keep being given steps when we didn't follow them, right? It's like the next step was already there, and so there's no point to have more because we didn't complete the other ones. All right, and so I encourage that. What might that be? And it really isn't an attempt of like to strain or like effort beyond. It's really, I mean, it can be something as simple as like, oh yeah, you know, posting that thing or completing that project, or like, oh, clean this area of the house, or like whatever that thing is for you, just checking that off. It's like we're being backlogged, right? And it's like we're not going to get more until there's like some space to clear that out. And so even taking steps that seem completely unrelated to the thing you're focused on can in fact just bring about that energy and that clearing for that flow to start up again. It's like a clog, basically, you know, like let's unclog by doing those other things. And again, it's not like a frantic search. It's something that we already know. It's something we've already been given, and it's already been provided. Okay, so that's what I'm definitely feeling around the, you know, how can I change course, or what's up there. Okay, and to have our final card and what was the clarifier card is just epic. It's awesome for this. Then the next card that we get here to clarify it all is the Tower. Love that. I love the Tower. It might be one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to claim a favorite quite yet, but it's really close. I love it. The Tower card here. The Tower represents the collapse of false structures. Okay? The Tower is the violent grace of truth when false structures collapse. It represents rupture, revelation, deconstruction, the shock of discovering that what held your life together was never actually solid. Okay, the shadow expression of this card can be denial before the collapse, attachment to false security, inner crisis erupting outwardly. You know, you've got that crisis kind of feeling, those obstacles, the overwhelm. All of this is happening in this country. Well, I guess anyone could watch America. We are in a tower moment, like massive collective tower moment, I would say, like hardcore with our false structures collapsing. The soul lesson with the Tower card is truth may first arrive as destruction when illusion has become structural, right? We don't want our lives structured around illusions and falsity, right? We want truth, ideally, hopefully. We want truth, okay? And so there may be a reality here that, like, whatever these choices are, this commitment, you know, and just like how you're feeling now or what you're afraid of, well, may happen. Like that, like the energy, like this may be part of the game here. It may be part of like what's bound to come. Oops, sorry here. You know, there may not be any avoiding that. If you, oh Lord, okay. If if you want to align your life with truth, yeah. Yeah, that's obnoxious, isn't it? Okay. So you know. And this isn't the end point, right? Like, this is never the end point. This is just a necessary part of the process. Other meanings: collapse of fantasy, sudden honesty, all right? Getting really honest with ourselves, or having others share honesty with us, all right? Or life just revealing the honesty, tough things, tough times, maybe. Spiritual initiation is allowing what is false to fall, even when identity was built around it. Okay, we've been talking about that a lot. That theme has come out tons in the past couple weeks, you know, around really getting into, you know, the truth of who we are, what we want, you know, and taking action around those things. That comes at a cost of a former self, always. There is always a death in the transformation process, and there's always grief with that, and that has been a consistent theme. And really, I think it's just ultimately the theme of life, right? Like, transformation and growth are always bringing about grief. And then I'm thinking of Renee from True Path Tarot, who always she's always saying, you know, she's always saying, I always say, with growth comes grief, you know. And yeah, I mean, really, in every change, in every transformation, there's always grief, right? And we're always releasing consistently. And boom, turn the page, here's what it says, and I just said the word. This is the card of release. All right, this is the card of release. All right, Sasha writes, once illusions of control are released, everything changes. Okay, anything that did not fit life falls away. Anything that does not fit you falls away. Okay, this is disruption to an old way of being. Hello, America. Clearing space, the end of an old cycle. Okay, the secret of the Tower card, the secret of the Tower card is emancipation. All right, freedom is what comes alongside this, right? Freedom and being rooted in truth structurally. Okay, she writes that life rearranges itself as soul healing extends to every nook, cranny, and corner of the witch's life, or as one's life again. Witch's life, because here we are, boom. And yet we are all magical. So, you know, there's a healing here, and it's change and transformation, you know, usually happens with that. And so what's no longer useful is being swept away. Okay, so again, as it relates to these choices, you know, and whether that's saying whatever that yes is for you, whether that's yes in terms of departure or yes in terms of deepening that particular commitment, or just whatever the commitment is that's present, honoring that truth, honoring what's really true, you know, facing the truth, and not necessarily partnering with illusion anymore, you know. And you know, again, we could be facing some really tough obstacles, or we could know we're going to be, and the encouragement here is to not let that stop us. And that, again, part of the solution and answer, and part of that is like, what have we already been given as things to tend to, and just taking some of those steps and tackling some of those aspects can really help us with that movement, and help us to move out of this sooner by following those steps. And that's hard, because we can get so weighed down by the emotional weight of that, and like, holy Hannah in a basket, it is tough, you know. And so if we can muster up that strength and courage to whatever we have to do to try to get through that, and to take those steps, right, and to embrace this tower moment, you know, and perhaps even in preparation for a tower to come, right? Like, this is what's up. All right, the poem associated with the card is thunder, lightning, rolling storm, embrace the tower to transform. Let go, it's safe, take the hit, what was clung to never fit. Okay, and so again, while you may be afraid of making that choice or making that commitment, it's the thing that's going to set you free, okay? And yes, it will likely bring about collapse and destruction, and it's also bringing about alignment and truth and freedom, okay? And a deeper level of embodiment and soul healing, okay? And so, you know, perhaps it may very well be true that what you're currently clinging to is an illusion, all right? And it's an illusion of safety, okay? And now it is time to grab hold of the truth, and to allow that to be what creates our structures, and creates a true and solid. I mean, it's really solid. Everything's moving particles, right? Moving atoms. But here we are. Anyway, that's another conversation. But really, to create a truthful foundation, you know, and a truthful structure. So, woo. Cool, great, love that for all of us. All right, so here we are, just as a quick refresher. Okay, we've got our choice in relational consciousness. All right, we've got that devotional energy. Okay, we're looking at what commitments we're making here. Person, place, thing, object, expression, experience. You know, we've got these tough feelings and obstacles, and following the guidance we've already been given and taking those steps to help move through that time. And here we are, we're in a tower, we're coming up to a tower, we're in it. I mean, it may come on the back of this, you may already be in it right now, and it's okay, right? Falsity is falling away, truth is being resurrected and making itself known, and that's where we truly find our safety. All right, so friends, fantastic. Love those four, and I hope that was able to serve you in some form or fashion, okay? And until the next one, stay blessed, stay safe, stay loved, and do your thing. Just be you in every freaking possible way, all right? You've got this, we've got this, we are doing this together, individually, separately, and together, all right? So, okay, friends, that's all. See you in the next one.